Hey guys, so we're back with more Study Abroad Most Memorable Moments. This time we're taking a look at what happens when you try to speak Thai for the first time. Okay, so immediately after I studied abroad here in Thailand, I decided to move to Thailand full-time. And when I was a student, I had lived a bit outside of the city. So when I decided to move here, I wanted to live in Bangkok, okay? So this little story, it didn't happen while I was studying abroad technically, but it happened right after I moved to the city. So right after I moved to Bangkok, I was like trying to kind of integrate into the culture, try to use the language more. And I remember I went to a restaurant one day and I went by myself. And in Thailand, they have like lots of staff at restaurants. It's very different from in the West. So you have like a couple hostesses, you have someone who like takes you from the hostess counter to your seat, and then there's like tons of waiters and busboys, and then they have like separate people who take your bill and handle like the money side of things. So anyway, it was a restaurant like that where there was lots of staff, and I was like, okay, I am going to speak to these people in Thai. I've been here for like a couple months, like I can do it. So I go in there with this intention of like, I'm going to speak Thai. And Thai language is very tricky. Let me point that out. Thai language is very tricky, and the order of the words changes the meaning, the tone of the word changes the meaning. So it was a little overly ambitious, but I was trying. So I go up to the hostess and I tell her, she wants to know, of course, how many people, and I tell her Tina, which I thought in my mind was like one place, like Nung is one. So I was like, oh, it's like if I say Tinung, then it's like one person or one seat. I didn't really know, but I just said it like very confidently, and she kind of like goes, huh? And I say it again, like very confidently, Tina, and she's like, okay, and she kind of like smiles a little bit, and then when she goes to like talk to the person who's gonna take me to my seat, different staff person, she like says under her breath, like, Tina, and so I started to realize like, oh crap, I said something wrong. What did I say? I don't know what I said, but it becomes like this running joke between all the staff members at this restaurant. Anyone who passes by my table, I hear them like, Tina. Anyway, so I was getting kind of frustrated because I really wanted to be good at Thai. Like if I'm gonna live here, I need to be able to speak it, especially like in a restaurant. You go to restaurants all the time. So anyway, I take my seat at my table, and at the time I had a Thai boyfriend, and I remember calling him on the phone, and I was like, okay, like I was trying to be like really quiet. I was like, all right, tell me what this means. I just told these people, blah blah blah, what does it mean? And he's like, oh, you just told them the wrong thing. I was like, yeah, I guessed that. What did I tell them? He's like, okay, if you want to say one place, you flip the word, you say Nung Ti. I was like, oh, oops. I was like, so does Ti Nung mean anything? He's like, yeah, it means first place, or I'm number one. So I'm like, okay, so these people must think that I'm insane because I walked into a restaurant, the hostess looked at me, and I said, I'm number one. And then the whole rest of the meal, everyone who passed by me was like, number one, you're number one. I was like, oh crap. Anyway, it was a learning experience and something that I will never forget. And now I am much more careful about my word order when I'm speaking Thai. So why do I share these memorable moments from my study abroad experience? Well, for me, I think it's important to share your experiences to motivate other people to go and try study abroad. So if you have studied abroad and you have memorable moments to share, which I'm sure that you do if you've been abroad before, please leave them in the comments below, and let's help inspire other young people to go and have some amazing experiences abroad as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.